Hello humans, Master Dinnerflex here, bringing you the low quality content you deserve, and today we are continuing with my little Lair spree that's going on. And this one is Lair of Darkness Destiny Hero. Now, I've done this before, like a year ago, as like my 200 subscriber special, and it had a very different premise because of a new card that came out that I am convinced, after testing, will go in every Lair deck except the Infernoid one, which I don't know if I'm going to show an Infernoid one because there's so much exposure for it already that I feel like whatever I put out there is just like already been discovered. But I'll still be trying a whole bunch of different Lairs besides Infernoid and whatnot. But besides Infernoid, I think every single version of Lair of Darkness I play will have Fusion Destiny in it now. Fusion Destiny is this deck's Brilliant Fusion. Holy shit. Now, the problem with Fusion Destiny, the only problem is that for the rest of the turn after you activate it, you can only special summon Dark Hero monsters. Now, it seems bad, but it actually doesn't matter since you're usually going +1, and not only you're going +1, you're actually just getting 2 tribute bodies for either a virus or for Lilith, or in other versions like Ballista Squad and whatnot. You're just setting up so much with this one card. You're putting Diablos in grave. You're setting up Dangerous, which can send other Destiny heroes for additional pluses later. Like, this card's insane. But I'm going to go ahead and get into it. We got 2 Diablos. Now that you can send this from the deck to the graveyard immediately with Fusion Destiny, I definitely don't see why you need to play 3. But you do want to play 2 just because you want each other cycling themselves if you get the opportunity. 2 Malicious, it's at 2. 1 draw hand. So something I discovered a bit ago is that you don't have to make each player draw. It's fine if they're under a virus because it's like they've already lost so much of their hand that even if they keep their draw from the virus, like they're still so minus. And you can just use that extra draw to OTK and whatnot. But like most of the time you just don't need to let each player draw. But yeah, it just summons itself on your opponent's turn, so you get an additional tribute. Then 1 Celestial and 1 Dynatag. Celestial is pretty useless. The only reason I play it is because I put D-Draw in this version, just because I want to see Fusion Destiny. Dynatag, this allows Dangerous to be an Eradicator target, which sounds a little weird, but Dangerous is a target for these 2 viruses, but naturally it's not a target for this virus until you use Dynatag. So if you need to resolve an Eradicator, you can send Diablos and Dynatag, and it's going to keep those stats until the end of your opponent's turn, so you can just Eradicator them, and then summon back Diablos. And then my favorite tech is Destiny Hero Dark Angel. So I'm pretty... if you know what this does, you know its first effect. No one knows about the effect that I'm actually going to mention. So, if you have 3 or more D heroes in your graveyard, you can discard it to revive any D hero to your opponent's side of the field. Preferably this itself, because while it's on that side of the field, the player who controls this, you negate all the spells they activate and destroy them, so they just can't play spells. And that's pretty cute against Sky Striker because not only do you clog their main monster zone, but even if they have a spell to activate, like even if they want to like multi-roll this away, like they can't. So that's pretty funny. They have to find a link away into it and then do it. So yeah, that's cute, but that's not what we're here for. Here's what we're here for. During your standby phase, you can banish this card and 1 Destiny Hero monster from your graveyard. Each player stacks a normal spell card from their deck on top of their deck. Now, like, oh, that's awful because it's your standby phase, so they're going to get their normal spell first. Well, the thing is, when you're playing Eradicator, they don't get those spells. So what you are actually doing is you're stacking a good spell for your turn while your opponent skips their draw phase. And that is really, really fun. I love doing that. It's even cooler in another version I was testing with Dangers, because you could just get that spell immediately. This card is just super cool for doing that. I don't know how practical it is. I have pulled this off like a lot. Like every other game I was doing this. But at the same time, like, it is a little win more. Because usually if they're under a virus, they're probably losing anyways. But like, this can just help you get further into your deck if you don't have a lot of resources. Because that's one of the problems with the Lair when you're playing the viruses, is that even though you virused your opponent and they're really far behind, a lot of the times you tributed all your stuff, so you're like far behind too. So having a card like this to actually grab a spell to get you back in the game is actually pretty good in those situations. And then for the rest of the Lair stuff, we got Lilith, obvious, and Arima, obvious. And then the Predaplants. You can discard any of the D heroes, especially Malicious, because you don't have very many ways to get out of your hand. So you can discard any D hero, Diablos, all that cool stuff, and get this and search Fusion Destiny. Then we got Triple Lair, Triple Fusion Destiny. I already explained this. This is a brilliant fusion for D heroes, and Dangerous is what makes this all possible. And then we got Triple Allure, Triple Destiny Draw, and one Upstart. I think I should replace this. Now I think about it, I'm going to replace this for a Reborn. Just because I feel like this is stronger if you have tributed your whole field. So anyways, Reborn, not Upstart. I think I had Upstart in here because it was like, I really want to see Fusion Destiny, but I forgot like the whole point of Dark Angel. And then we got Triple Eradicator, double 4/4s, double Deck Devastation. I almost feel like Deck Devastation is better than full force. Like full force, it seems better, but there are a lot of decks right now that are just like at the weenie mark. Like Salamangreat, Sky Striker, Altergeist. There are a lot of decks that actually have like weenie monsters. Full force also, like, it doesn't hit things you'd think it would. Like the Thunder Dragon deck, like this does nothing against. Like most of the dangers, like have 2 out of the 3 best dangers have huge defenses. All the Thunder Dragon, most of the Thunder Dragons can ignore this. Like well, the one you wanna like hit with this ignores it, which is Hawk. So it's like really weird. Like this one almost seems like, I don't know, but it's still really strong against Rogue. Like just a game-winning crush against Rogue. So that's probably why it's going to be in here. And then Deck Devastation and 2 Mind Crushes. Yeah, you don't look at your opponent's hand anymore, but you're actually looking at your opponent's hand with all this crap. So it like doesn't matter. And for the side deck, it's up to you. The only I will say, I was testing this cute idea where if you Fusion Destiny, you can send a small dark hand trap like Winter Cherries or DD Crow, then use Dark Eruption to get it back. And I thought that was cute, but it's not very conventional. But I would suggest actually trying Cherries in this deck because usually Rogue doesn't come back from viruses, but like the meta decks, you really want something exceptionally stupid to just end the duel. And Cherries is a card that can do that. Kind of like what Scythe does. Except Scythe locks them out for the turn. Cherries, if it resolves, can sometimes lock them out of the duel. So that's pretty cool. And then for the extra deck, 2 Dangerous. So this is what makes this deck possible. So Destiny Hero Dangerous. Its effect is cute. You can discard any card from your hand to send a D hero from your hand, which you won't do, or deck to the graveyard. And it gets a boost, which is actually pretty relevant because if you have enough D heroes in your graveyard, you could climb him up to Eradicator target. And since that is a quick effect, you can do it on your opponent's turn, obviously. But that's not what we're actually here for. This guy requires a Destiny Hero monster and 1 Dark Effect monster. So it's just like Brilliant Fusion. You can send whatever you want. You can do a bunch of cute stuff with it, so that's pretty cool. And then for the rest of the Destiny Heroes, Dominance going second card, Dystopia going second card, especially with Dynatag. Cross Crusader, when you have nothing, you usually make this, but if you do have some things, you won't make this, because this makes it to where you can only summon heroes for the entire, special summon heroes for the entire turn. So you can't like do a few things before doing this, like you can Fusion Destiny. So this is just like, if you only have a normal summon, or you don't have anything else besides Fusion Destiny, you'll go into this. And Double Beat Cop, because this is a Lair deck and you actually can use its effect. Double Link Spider, it's Lair. Phoenix, Cerberus, because it's Lair. Unicorn, Griffin, Borosword, and Borreload. So, yeah, that's about it. Thank y'all. Wow. Thank you so much for watching. I think this, I actually really enjoy this one because it's so goofy in a way. Like, the viruses can be just so devastating, especially when you're throwing like the D heroes into the mix, because you get to recover while your opponent doesn't. And like, I actually, like, I'm getting really excited to show off the replays at the end of these 3 days, which is how long I'm going to go with this, because this has the funniest replay for it. So yeah, that's about it. Thank you all for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. And remember, Master Dinnerflax will take your soul.